Most people think 911 calls end when help arrives. This one didn't. It started like thousands of others, a woman calling late at night, shaking, trying to sound calm. But by the end of the call, even the dispatcher was scared. And when police reviewed the recording later, they realized something no one noticed at the time. Someone else had been on the line. The call came in at 2:17 a.m. The dispatcher, Laura, had already been working for 6 hours straight. The voice on the other end was female, early 30s maybe. She gave her name, then paused, like she was listening to something in the room. "I think someone's outside my house," the woman said. "I don't see them, but I keep hearing footsteps." Laura asked her to check the doors and windows. "They're locked," the woman said. "All of them. I checked twice." There was a long silence after that. Not dead air, breathing, slow, controlled. Then the woman whispered, "They stopped walking." Laura asked where she was calling from. "A small town, not far from the highway," the reply came. "I moved here last month." That was the first thing that made Laura uneasy. People who feel unsafe usually overshare. This woman was careful, precise, almost like she didn't want to be heard. Laura told her to stay on the line and move to a room with a lock. The woman said she was already in her bedroom. "My dog's not barking anymore," she added. "He always barks." Laura asked where the dog was now. "In the hallway," the woman said, "right outside my door." Another pause. Then, quietly, "He's whining." Laura felt a chill run up her spine. Dogs didn't whine at empty hallways. She asked if the woman could see under the door. "Yes." "What do you see?" "Nothing," the woman said, but the whining stopped. Laura told her to stay absolutely still. That's when the woman said something Laura still hears in her sleep. "He's sitting now," she whispered, like someone told him to. At 2:21 a.m., officers were dispatched. Response time was estimated at 8 minutes. Laura told the woman help was on the way. The woman didn't sound relieved. Instead, she said, "I don't think he's outside anymore." Laura asked what made her think that. "Because," the woman said slowly, "I just heard the floor creak behind me." Laura asked if the woman could turn around. "No," she replied. "I don't want him to know I know." Laura felt her stomach drop. She asked if the woman could see a reflection, a mirror, a TV screen, anything. There was shuffling on the line. Then the woman whispered, "I see the closet door." "Is it open?" asked Laura. "No," she said, "but it wasn't closed before." At 2:24 a.m., Laura heard something new on the call. Breathing. Not the woman's. It was slower, deeper, barely audible. Laura asked if anyone else was in the room. "No," the woman said, "but I can smell him." Laura froze. "What do you mean?" she asked. "He smells like metal and wet clothes." Laura told her to stay on the phone no matter what happened. The woman said, "I don't think he knows you're here." That was when Laura realized something horrifying. The woman wasn't scared of being attacked. She was scared of being heard. At 2:26 a.m., the dispatcher heard a soft creak, unmistakably a footstep. Then a whisper. Not the woman's voice, a man's, too faint to understand. Laura asked the woman to speak louder. The woman didn't answer. Laura called her name again. Still nothing. Then the woman whispered, "He's closer to the phone." Laura asked if she could run. "No," she said, "he'll chase me." The breathing on the line grew louder, closer, intentional. At 2:28 a.m., the woman suddenly screamed. Not a long scream, just a sharp sound, like she'd been startled mid-breath. Then the call went silent. Laura stayed on the line, calling out, begging for a response. All she heard was breathing. Then a click. The call disconnected. Police arrived at the house 3 minutes later. The front door was unlocked. The dog was sitting calmly in the hallway. The bedroom was empty. No woman, no intruder, no signs of a struggle. But in the closet, officers found muddy footprints, only one set, leading in, not out. The woman was never found. No body, no suspect, no explanation. But weeks later, a technician reviewing the audio noticed something no one else had. At 2:24 a.m., before the whispering began, there were two breathing patterns on the call. One matched the woman. The other started before she mentioned the footsteps, meaning someone had been in the room before she ever called 911. And dispatchers still listen to that recording during training, because sometimes the call isn't asking for help. Sometimes it's a warning. If stories like this unsettle you, subscribe now, because the next one is worse. Sometimes the danger doesn't come from outside. Sometimes it's already in the room.